Some news from Miguel Cabrera. Next year will be the final year of his contract, that monster contract that he had with the Detroit Tigers. The last of that to his age 40 season, and he says he will retire after the 2023 seasons. Cabrera has played a full 20 years. He's been in decline the last few. His peak, though, is monstrous. We had to do for top 10 right now. I did this with Bob Costas. It was a lot of fun since 1969, so that was 50 years at the time, the divisional era. Who were the top 10 at each position? Miguel Cabrera, and look at the names there. This is my own personal rankings. I had him fourth: Pujols, McCovey, Stargell, Cabrera, and ahead of Jeff Bagwell, Dick Allen, Frank Thomas, Jim Thome, Keith Hernandez, Fred McGriff. Wow. So that's, high company to get in the top 5 there. Jake, you played alongside him. You had a tour with Miguel Cabrera when he was Little Miggy at the time?
I did, and I want to point out the first video, the first clip in that video was a Framber Valdez curveball. Go look back at how many hits got hit on that. Miguel doubled on it. I mean, this is still who he is and capable of against the best in the league. But you're right. I got a chance in 2004, and I think it was his second year in the big leagues. We got put on this MLB All-Star, and at that point in time, Miguel was 20, 21. Look at this guy. Just surrounded by the game's best and playing like the game's best. How about that?
It's young Jake Peavy.
Yeah, you got to give him some fight money. But Victor Martinez and Miguel, but really, he was a special player from the time of his arrival. And then when he went over to Detroit about in the mid-2000s, around 2007, and I got traded in 2009 into that division and had to deal with him, felt like on a weekly basis. There's just very few players in the game who are on and at the level that Miguel Cabrera. You see that pitch there? It's off the plate in. And you can't hang breaking balls.
Was that you that we're showing? Oh, wow.
This is, throw it right there and see what happens.
That's not right. Yeah. This wasn't my idea.
I can't believe you didn't pop that up, Miggy.
There you go.
Well, look, these are earlier Jake Peavy days, and I had a little bit better breaking ball. But again, Miguel was just so situationally aware of what he was trying to do at the batter's box. He will take his hit the other way. He'll drive the ball in the gap. Just a very, very smart baseball player. And when you hear about him talking about his retirement and talking about wanting to stay in the game and coach and help young kids, he's been doing that for an awfully long time. Again, we talk about the great guys and good guys in the game. This is one of them who's been smiling and brought a lot of joy to a lot of us.
This is bittersweet for me. I've had the opportunity over the last decade to see some of our greatest players of all time play their last seasons. I mean, I played with Jeter on his last season. I mean, talking about super clutch guys. David Ortiz in his last season. I was in the stadium when Albert Pujols just hit his 700th home run. So Miguel, he's right there with all of those guys. He's the guy who knows how to work in that bat, just like Peavy was saying. But from an offensive standpoint, he was the one we always tried to mimic, because we admired the way that he was able to make adjustments from not at bat to at bat, from pitch to pitch. If a guy had heavy velo, he could just keep the foot down and shoot something the other way. Another guy, he can go big leg kick. He could make adjustments in the box. He could change where he was standing in the box. And he just had such a feel for it that you could try to imitate it, but you just could not duplicate it. And seeing him year in and year out be able to go out and do the same thing and be the same threat, even at his older age, you don't want to make a mistake, because he can still go out there and get a base hit right there with any of the the best in the game. But I just always admired the way he goes about it and the way he's able to do it and have so much fun while he's doing it. You have guys who take the game really seriously and go out and they dominate. You have other guys who are just willy-nilly having fun. He was able to do both and be elite on both sides of the game, to where when you get to first base, you want to talk to him. But when he's in the box, even if he's smiling, he's locked in more than anybody else on the field.
You faced him, Adam, right? Was it later years for him, right? By the time you got to him?
I mean, yeah, I guess a little bit later for him. I mean, I definitely saw him in his prime with Detroit when I was first getting in the league. But, for me, he's just a great hitter, like a great hitter first that also has power. And see what I was saying? I mean, he's the type of guy that inspired others. I mean, J.D. Martinez, Nick Castellanos are two guys that learned under him and became much better hitters just because they were in his presence day to day. Look at guys like Jose Abreu,
You're locking
Paul
him up here.
Goldschmidt.
You're dominating Cabrera right now.
Well, I think he was looking for the slider there. Early in my career, I had to intentionally walk him once in front of a sold-out crowd. Then they took me out, brought a lefty in to face Prince Fielder. But I remember thinking, I never intentionally walk righties, and they don't trust me to get this guy out here in this spot. And I'm horribly uncomfortable with this, but he is Miguel Cabrera. So what do I really have for him here? I don't know. Maybe it is better to pass the baton.
He is a rare guy, and his slash line from 2005 to 2016 was like, again, it's a 405 on base, 571 slugging, monstrous MVP level year to year. But the batting average is 326. Do you approach a batting average guy differently, or did his play coverage alter what you would try against him?
Well, I mean, first of all, when you can hit 326 with absolutely zero speed, that tells me that you're hitting the ball where they ain't, you know? And that comes up huge in big spots. You can't shift the guy. You can't direct him towards any of your better fielders. There's really no way to defense him. So if you don't get ahead of him, you might as well just walk him, because he's going to put the ball in play to the big part of the field with pretty hard contact consistently.
Wow. It just... You spoke to something here that we were kind of talking about earlier, right? Like you're saying, like, wow, it's there for Jeter the last year, and it's there for now it's going to be Cabrera's last year. Ball players, when they're at their best, can last 20 years. And there is that association. You get used to it. You can spend a good part of your life watching a player. I think that's what makes baseball special. 6 months, 162, day after day, year after year, and you get attached to your favorite guys.
We are. When CY's talking about David Ortiz and those type characters, and Jeter is a little bit different, a little more serious and not smiling as much. But to me, the game of baseball is about fun, and it's a grind. When you show up in spring training for those couple months and then you start this journey, it is a grind. To play every day, to be prepared to play every day, and to do it while smiling and being friendly, having sportsmanship. To me, that's what the game's about, and I hope we don't lose that. I don't see a whole lot of characters coming that are like David Ortiz, that are like Miguel Cabrera has been. So again, for me, to talk about the prep, you talk about being ready. There's nobody any more prepped and ready than Miggy. But don't forget to have fun. Life's about fun.
Right. Good point.